Can you tell me your name?
Lourdes?
Can you tell me a little bit about your school, please?
Sure. It's in Malibu. Little private school, very exclusive.
Is it expensive?
Yes, it's very costly.
But it's a good school in your opinion.
I would say it is. Everyone's really nice, so.
Your prince? Your prince? Your prince?
Huh? Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. All right, Prince, how would you describe Ladena?
Ladena? It's a small school. It's about 300 people in total. And that's only 80 in my grade.
Do you like having that few people around?
Yeah, it's what I'm used to.
And what do you think of Miss Murphy?
Miss Murphy?
Yes.
Uh,
What?
Nothing. I just didn't think that's what today would be about.
Willem Davies?
You're Willem Davies.
Yeah. Is that a bad thing?
No.
My name is Gabriel, and I'm 16 years old.
Thank you.
Of course.
It says here that you referred to the events in the summer as rehearsal.
Yes.
Rehearsal.
Where did that title come from?
It came from Miss Murphy.
What did you think about it when she started calling it that?
I didn't really think about it that much.
When did it start?
Summer sessions, so school was at half capacity. Our grade isn't really big to begin with, so there were maybe 30 people.
Do you have any recollection about who had the idea?
I don't really remember.
What about Willem?
What about him?
There were a lot of incidents in the area at the time. I think people don't actually know the toll that it takes on kids their age. It takes quite a toll. And I promote problem solving in my class. We're problem solvers at Ladena.
And Willem?
Willem Davies is a very promising, kind, good young man.
What did you use as the gun?
Oh, it was like a staff, like a small hiking staff from Mr. McKinley's room, and it was splintered and duct taped and about the right weight, I think. And so I used that.
Why do you think Willem was the shooter?
Well, he looks the part.
It was every Friday.
Every week.
Yeah, after school for a couple hours.
You said earlier that Willem had a different set of instructions from the rest of the group.
Yes, he did.
Could you tell me exactly what everyone was doing?
Sure.
My parents work in security. The business is all about staging break-ins. Would a criminal do this or would a criminal do that? So I thought it was pretty cool.
I don't know how familiar you are with the layout of Ladena, but it's a very small school, and we're in one of the smallest structures on campus atop this kind of wooded slope, right? There's these 2 classrooms in 1 bungalow, a small corridor in between. So, Willem approaches from the east and fires a few shots into the air when he's outside the eastern entrance. Then he enters to the first classroom, he shoots Prince, crosses the corridor, shoots Gabriel, who's standing guard outside the second classroom, kind of a martyr figure, if you will. It's during this time that Lourdes... Have you met Lourdes? Well, it's during this time that Lourdes hides in the supply closet in the second classroom. So he peeks in there, he doesn't see anyone, and he leaves.
What happens next?
Then I turned the gun on myself.
Well, it felt like a dance. I would go in front of the door, I would get shot, and I would fall forward. The way me and Willem move around, it's always like a dance.
Did you come up with that?
It wasn't hard to. You'll find that there's almost an archetype for this now.
What do your parents think about this, Lourdes? Your mom and dad. What do they think about rehearsal?
Of everyone at Ladena, everyone in my class, I think Lourdes needs rehearsal the most.
Why?
She's...
Don't tell them.
she's different from everyone else.
Well, there's a SWAT team recovery.
Who's the SWAT team?
Miss Murphy's the SWAT team.
She participates?
Yeah, we added that bit in later on.
We can do it a few times a Friday, usually, and I help them out with logistics sometimes.
You did it more than once in a day?
It doesn't take very long, does it? A space that small, a weapon like that, it doesn't take more than a few minutes. We rehearse maybe 20 times a Friday.
Did you say you give notes?
I'm sure the board knows the anxiety these kids are going through, the constant anxiety, even if it's under the surface, even if it's subtle, implied, they need to get it out. They need to get it out.
Is this something that's on your mind a lot?
I think about it a lot, yeah.
You walk into a room and you just think, is that cabinet big enough to fit me?
My parents are both new money, and my dad's an entrepreneur, so they got a whole lot of money. And moved out of this bad neighborhood, and since then they've just been sending me to private school after private school my entire life. Until Marta Vista and Brentwood got shot up.
You went there.
No, I didn't, but I could have. Like, my parents picked Ladena because it's only half a mile closer. That's the only reason. So, I didn't, but I could have. When something like that happens, you know, it really makes you wonder, what's all the money for?
Do you have some kind of opinion on the role that you play in rehearsal?
I like it.
You do.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like to think that if something were to happen, I would be brave like that. But now I feel like, I don't know. The way our times are, I just don't think there are opportunities to be brave like that. That's why this is the only way.
My mom would sometimes come to the parking lot. She would sit there and see what we were doing. She knew what we were up to. And she would just sit there and cry. She'd cry for me.
There are these big, heavy doors at the back of the hall. They take a full 3 seconds to open, and they make a really loud sound. You wouldn't want to use those during a shooting. And there's chicken wire on the windows. That's why it makes sense that no one makes it out.
How does that make you feel that you're the only survivor? Does that upset you?
No, it makes sense. Someone has to survive or else it's just not the same.
Did you ever feel scared, Lourdes?
No. We did it so many times and the same thing happened every time.
Mrs. Murphy says that sometimes she came in and carried you out as the SWAT team.
Yeah. She did sometimes. She'd enter to the west entrance and she'd walk over to me and hoist me off the ground. Then she'd drag me up by my armpits and lay me down on her table.
What do you teach?
History, mostly.
Do you feel that the process of this rehearsal has affected you outside of school in any way?
No, not really. Weird dreams, but I've always been kind of like a weird dreamer.
Weird dreams? Anything concerning?
I wouldn't say concerning, exactly. Everyone has nightmares. Apparently most of our dreams are nightmares, and apparently dreams are just expressions of our anxiety. Well, I did have one that shook me up a little bit. I was on an iceberg. I think it was a penguin. Anyway, all the other penguins started clustering around me, and I knew. Like, I just knew, like the way you know things in dreams, that we were supposed to jump into the water. Like, we were just supposed to. And the water was green. I remember that. And so we started jostling each other around, trying to get one of us to be the first penguin to jump in. And finally, we got this one penguin, a real small one, like a real runt, to jump into the water. And immediately, the water turned red. And we could smell the blood. It's acrid. It's really disgusting. And we can smell the blood, and we know what it means, but we don't stop. We keep pushing each other in, one after the other, and we don't see a shark. or anything under the water. It's just explosions of blood. But I really think that it was the smell of it that. I felt weird when I woke up. But then I remembered that during the week I would go to school and do it. A rehearsal. And I felt better.
Better?
Relieved.
Well, to be honest, everyone fell pretty naturally into their roles. Lourdes wasn't any exception. She's a shy girl. She's very sweet. She's very smart. She's on scholarship. You know, her family could never afford to send her here in a million years. Don't you get the feeling when you look at her like she needs... I don't know, like she needs a promise of something. I have a daughter now, actually. Edith, she'll be 1 in 2 months. Do you have kids?
Oh, that's...
I remember being really scared when she was born, and I remember thinking that that would go away. But it doesn't, really.
So this is all to create something helpful?
Yes.
But why? Why this way?
What?
Why dying? Why did you create something where they had to die?
I'm not sure that I follow.
Wouldn't it have been better if they had survived? If he didn't shoot them?
But he does. He does.